Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to an incredibly dangerous bit of driving. We're off to Absolute Music and I'm going to have some fun with a moisture meter, the Wagner something 220 moisture meter of awesomeness. Absolute have kindly said that we're allowed to run around their entire shop and huge stock of guitars and see just what the moisture content is across the board, from manufacturer to manufacturer and all that jazz. So fun times. I don't like filming while I'm driving. This is ever so slightly nerve-wracking. But hey, cool, see you inside. Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to Absolute Music. They've given us free rein to run around the shop and measure the moisture content in all of the guitars that they have on the walls. They have several thousand guitars on the walls. So this is going to be a fun one. Just about total 100% utter geekery for luthiers. But that's not a bad thing, is it? Come on then. Plus they've got a cafe and a college of students. I haven't been a student in far too long. I just love this place. We arrive and I just don't want to leave. Well, this isn't supposed to be a tour, but you guys just walk in there and have a look at that. Their dehumidifier. This acoustic room here, we'll go and show you in a second, has got a giant multi-thousand-pound dehumidifier and air conditioning system to just condition that one tiny little room. It's usually sold to computer companies for I've just been distracted. Server rooms. Edit that out. Okay, we're here. We have lots of guitars. Now, very rapidly, Wagner MMC220. This thing is mind-blowing. Uses microwaves. Magic. It uses magic to put a signal out about 1.5 inches or through 1.5 inches of material, so you can measure how the moisture content of wood. It is much more clever, I hate that sentence, than traditional moisture meters which have pins. You stick the pins in and it tells you something. This one, you actually have a species button and you have to know what the species is. So for example, ash there, it gives us a reading of 60. I can't remember the damn term now, and I've been talking about it. Specific gravity. We're naming some of our models of Crimson Guitars based on the specific gravity of the wood. And the camera starts rolling, and I forget the term, which is just you know, the hands. I've just had enough. No, we don't need to take these off the wall, and I have got it set at 60 for ash. And the other thing is, if you go over a cavity where it's only 6 mil thick, then you're going to have an issue. You're only going to be able to measure the moisture content on a small part of it. So I need to go over relatively thick pieces. Also, you will see, I'm just trying to put the case away. So for example, this here. Oh, no. There we go, turn her on. Let's let it go. So we're on 0. My body is 32, which is the highest it will go to. Wait. Look at that, 4.3. It doesn't like that area there. 4.3, 3.3. If we go over, it's not even picking that up. 4. I wasn't expecting it to be this dry. That's a smaller area, so we're not too sure about that. Let's go and find some more ash. These two here. Big 70s headstocks. Fun times. Basically, this is non-invasive. So this guitar is 6.3. That is 7. Up there, 6.3. That is what I would, that's the sort of number I was expecting. Somewhere between 7 and 9 or so is a bit, 4.3. 4.2, 3.4. I'm, okay. That's a little bit more dry than I was expecting. This is, hello. Yeah, she's, no. This is, I think my battery's dying. My battery's dying. That's interesting. No, it's struggling to go through the finish, which is surprising. That's ash under there. 3.8. Yes, in places it's not like in the finish, which is interesting. Okay. Well, the average there, on ash at least, is somewhere between 4 and 6 on Fender instruments, going down towards 4 actually, which that really does surprise me. 3.7, good old Baja Tele. 4.3, 3.7. That's close to 6.5. So if I put that there and then put my hand behind it, you see it change. That's how sensitive they are. That's really cool. Okay, this is interesting. Let's have a walk around and see if there's anything else that is ash, or obviously ash. Well, that's ash. That's interesting. Okay, so those were all Fenders we were looking at. We can pretty much discount the top here. This is what I was expecting. So 10.6. This is an Ibanez. 10, or 9.9, etc. If we go over the cavity, if there is a cavity back there, yeah, it'll be less. Oh no, higher. 13.5. How interesting. 9. So the Ibanez is at 9. Wow. Kramer. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Ha! Fun times. Okay. So, onwards. I love this store. We've been hanging around for a little while, buying plectrums and stuff. Okay, so the rev stars. Actually, you haven't looked. Just have a look in there. We're going to do. Yeah, we desperately want to come in here and do some guitar demos or something. Yeah, something. It's fun. Okay. Now, we're in the part of the shop full of maple and mahogany. So I'm going to change this over to 44, which is the specific gravity of African mahogany, and see what happens. And it's quite easy. So click the species button, and then you just either click through or hold the button down. And it slowly cycles through the tens. Okay, there we go. So we're on mahogany now. Not sure what the rev stars are made out of. I need to Google this. But I think it's an African mahogany. So we've got a 7, 7.1, 7. This is another one. Ooh, 10. That's closer. I was expecting an average of about 10 for most instruments. Yeah, 10. They're consistent across the board. I wonder what the difference is with the maple. Yeah, so that's going through something that's more dense with a higher specific gravity. And yeah, the difference is obvious. Roughly 10. Well, that's really interesting. So the finish is part of it. The top makes a couple of degrees difference, percentage points difference. Check it out. Lee is not with a customer anymore. Lee, how's it going?
Hello, I'm good.
What the hell?
What do you mean?
What the
It's
hell?
a work of art.
Okay, come on, ZZ Top, yes, of course, cool, awesome.
Yeah. In the Christmas colours, getting ready for the festive season.
Yeah.
It's Santa's guitar.
They're normally red, are they?
Well, I'm thinking more traditional Santa. He started green. They are normally red though. But this is a 1 of 16 limited edition Billy Bow.
Billy Bow.
Billy
I mean,
Bow.
you can't.
Chambered
Actually,
mahogany.
that's really light. That's really, really, really chambered.
Maple cap.
Those Japanese, they do make a good guitar, don't they?
Stonking.
I don't know. I think without the heritage of the model, I don't think you'd ever sell one ever.
No, the story behind it
Is what makes it.
yes.
But I don't know. I'm not a traditionalist. I'm not a traditionalist, but I'd like a few lines that are.
Right.
You love it, don't you?
I love it.
I can see that you must have beaten me over the head with
I
it.
opened the case and I just thought this is just, I mean, I love the guitar anyway, but then to see it in the limited colour, just, whoa, amazing. But put it on Facebook and said, what does everyone think to this? And we just had streams of people saying, worst thing I've ever seen, I've just vomited. Yeah, and yeah, it nearly brought a tear to my eye because I think it's gorgeous. But
Let me measure C.
Let's
So
do it.
it's chambered, is it?
it is chambered, yes.
Okay, so I came so close to slamming the moisture meter into the guitar there, which wouldn't be
Chambered
good.
with dents.
Chambered with dents. Okay, so the species we're on 44, which is mahogany. So if it's a chamber, so that's where the pickup is. Oh no. 6.7, 7, 7.4. That's definitely solid there, so 8 where there's no chambers. And 7. So yeah, I mean this is. You were obviously with the client when we started over at the other side.
Yeah.
Fenders, I want to say that they're horrible and nasty. And that they're the driest guitars in here. 3 or 4.
Right.
Where I was expecting an average of 7. I was expecting this.
That's more. Right.
That is the average percentage of a kiln dried lump of timber.
Right. Okay. But the Fenders.
They've gone even further.
Wow.
And because it's got so much lacquer, there we go, there's a bad thing to say. Because it's got so much lacquer on it, it's not breathing, it's not moving.
Right.
So they've kiln dried the hell out of it
Right, yeah,
and left
yeah.
it there, which makes for a better sounding guitar. I think. I really do think.
Well, I'm going to
So-
remember that.
Yeah, I'm
time we-
disappointed. I'm disappointed. Let's go and have a look. Is it okay if you open up some
Absolutely,
PRSs
yeah,
and
let's
Gibsons
just,
and things?
Pop this beauty back.
You said beauty.
I did.
You really have the best job in the world.
There we go. Right.
Well,
So, direct me. What would you like next? Take the pick from our.
let's start from the end
Yep.
and move our way up to. Well, actually,
Start with PRS. or-
let's start with some PRS just
Yeah.
because.
Okay. So obviously we've got a broad selection of PRS. We've got SEs and customs and S2s. So where are you going? Just the flagship custom 24?
Let's have a look at the flagship
Yep.
and look and see if there's any difference between the two. If that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's no problem.
Cool.
So
I'll get out your way.
let's.
The audio might not be so great on this because we've got one lapel mic. Hello. And now I'm actually having a conversation with somebody. But let's see how it goes.
Right. There we go. Custom 24, grey black. You want the back?
I do want the back. It's very
So
nice.
solid
though.
mahogany.
Again, exactly what I was expecting. 10, 11, and that's actually because you've got a neck. Is it a
Yep.
mahogany neck as well?
It is mahogany neck, yeah.
11, but as you go over cavities, there's differences. So, yeah. I mean, one of the things with the, 10. So that's exactly bang on where I was expecting it to be.
Would it have, now I'm going to throw this out there, would it have anything to do with where the guitars are made? Because obviously these are sort of Northeast America. I'm thinking of Fender in very dry, arid
Yeah.
California or Mexico.
You're a true geek. Yes, it does make a big difference, but
Right.
also the companies themselves will do as much as they can to
normalise
dry the entire factory,
Right, okay.
especially the big guys.
Right, yeah.
However, if they decide that 10 or 11 is what they want,
Yes.
they will only dry the factory to that level.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Whereas, if you're in California, that's it.
Yeah.
You're dry
yeah.
to start
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
So everybody's kiln drying it. Essentially what happens is you kiln dry something, you'll take it down to on average about 7%
Right, okay.
relative moisture content. Too many terms. If you air dry it, it'll only go to about 14 on average in the UK
Right,
at
okay.
least.
Okay.
And that's the resting equilibrium moisture content is what it's called,
Right.
EMC.
Right.
Now, the reason for kiln drying it is if you take it down to 7, it will slowly take on more moisture if it's unfinished and raw and open to the environment.
Yeah.
But it will also take on less moisture than if it was just dried normally.
Oh,
so
okay.
it rests about 2%
Right.
lower than
Yes.
it would if it was just air dried.
Right.
So,
Good.
yeah,
So
10
this
or
guy
11.
is quite a lot less dry than the Fenders.
It's much less dry than the Fenders, although it's still drier than many guitars that I've seen. So, yeah, 10%. A lot of stuff that I built over the years was actually at 13, 14 because I like it. I like air dried wood. It works better.
okay.
It's lighter. The other thing with kiln drying wood is as you put it, you're essentially cooking the wood. So you are crystallizing the combustibles and things. There's lots of oils and
Right,
minerals and things like that. You're crystallizing all of that, closing some of the pores in the wood.
Yeah.
Now, in air-dried wood, you have open pores and you can pour water
okay.
through it.
Right, yeah.
A kiln-dried thing solidifies it, cooks it,
yeah.
and makes it much more homogeneous.
Right.
And therefore actually harder to work and harder. The sort of, in my mind, I think, and I might be wrong. I love being proved wrong, but I think at the moment, or I am thinking at the moment, that a lighter guitar is better. There's so many different arguments. There are so many counter arguments for this. Tonewood, is it real?
Can of worms just
Yeah.
been opened.
Absolutely. Bring it on. Let me know what you think.
Right.
Could we have a look at the Santana next to that?
You can, yes. Just arrived, as you can see.
It is so tempting.
Stunning blood orange.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the Santana is the very, very dated headstock.
I don't know.
No.
So this is same spec-wise, actually.
Yeah.
Mahogany neck, maple top.
7.5. 6.5. So that's a little bit less. I would also. It's quite thin. Are they both the same thickness? They are roughly, yeah.
They are, yeah.
Look at that.
Yes, yeah.
It's just so
That's nice. I wish more guitar companies did that, because I always remove my back plates from trem guitars, and as that's a request by Carlos, then PRS go to the trouble to actually finish it nicely for you so that it doesn't look unsightly.
Yeah, from my point of view, finishing the inside of a cavity nicely is actually incredibly difficult.
Right.
That is a lot. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work, right? Okay. So, I mean,
still.
just as a question, would because these are both second-hand guitars, should say that.
Okay.
So there's quite a few years. Well, not a lot, but that's a few years older than this.
Yes.
Would on a finished guitar like that, would that account for any moisture difference, or do you think once they're set from factory, things can, they're rarely going to change?
There is variation.
Because this is less than a year old.
That's less than a year old. There is variation,
Right,
but
okay.
the point of this finish, and PRS are renowned for their finish, is to stop that sort of thing happening.
Right.
The only point of entry or egress, nice word, is your fretboard, and everybody oils their fretboard.
Yes.
Everything else is covered with lacquer,
Right, okay,
and
yeah.
you should basically halt,
Right.
or at least massively slow
Massively
down.
minimise it, yeah.
Now you've got trem cavities and pickup cavities and control cavities that are, to a certain extent, open to the atmosphere. So yes, there will be change and variation.
But probably on this guitar, less than...
Less because it's been so well finished.
Right, okay.
So yeah, if they dry it properly, it should stay dried. Acoustic's a completely different thing.
Yeah, different kettle of fish.
Most people don't finish the inside of their acoustics.
Just found out with that Martin.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a Martin in the guitar workshop in the corner, and I've never seen that much bowing without serious structural damage. It's crazy. Because it lives in Weymouth on the seafront, and
Yeah, corporate hat on that's not a reflection on Martin's guitars. It's
No.
a reflection on where the guitar's being kept.
they've had several brought in from the same exact area, and the humidity in that area is just not good for acoustic guitars.
We're on the coast, and naturally there's going to be more moisture in our air, our atmosphere, than in someone inland, so it's something that we always advise our customers be very aware of, particularly with high-end acoustic guitars. You've got to be conscious of where you're keeping them, because these will move.
Or buy an ultra high-end acoustic guitar where they've French polished the inside. We've got a beautiful thing in at the moment. Okay, if we go down the series then.
Yes, yeah. So if we take an SE Custom 24, so
Pretty.
same spec again, mahogany body and neck with the maple top,
Okay, let me put my microphone down.
but this time made on the other side of the world.
So that's 6.8. Made very well on the other side of the world. 7. It looks to me like they said, okay, we're going to dry it to 7 and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
The other one has taken on a bit more,
yeah,
which is interesting. Because that was 10, wasn't it?
yes, yeah. Well, it'd be interesting. Well, I suppose we've kind of done it with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but interesting.
So
just
there is
whether that's taken on more in its. I think it's probably.
Since it's been built.
Let me tell you. Six, 2006, so 10 years old.
10-year-old,
Yep.
and that's got a 10%
Yeah.
humidity. Moisture content, sorry.
1 year old.
1-year-old, and that's 7%, which is what looks like coming out of the factory. So yeah,
So, yeah.
wood changes. We would obviously have to measure thousands. We should get you one of these and
Yeah.
see.
and just
Could we?
yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. 25th anniversary McCarthy model.
Tempting.
Very nice.
I think the Purists are the only company that's done a wraparound bridge that
So this one's 6
I
years
like.
old.
6 years old. 7.7, 8, 7.5, 7.9. Yeah. So that's a little bit more. 7.9 in that area. That's pretty.
Yeah. Nice guitar. Very nice.
I love their
I love
wraparounds.
it. Yeah. So simple.
But well done.
Oh yeah, really
and that's the
functional.
problem.
I can testify to having gigged with one of those for a number of years, and it's still being one of the easiest guitars I've ever had to live with in terms of maintaining it and performance. It's just, yeah.
We need to get you a Crimson. Corporate adult.
I believe we have a few on the way, don't we?
They definitely are.
Right. Where to next?
Okay, fine. So that's
a
PRS. It's
reflection of-
very, very roughly,
Yes.
yeah, about 7%.
Yeah.
If we look through the Gibsons then,
Yes.
and it would be interesting to see the difference between Epiphone and Gibson.
Yeah. Well, why don't
well.
I grab an Epiphone?
Excellent.
I can come down there.
Well, we do it here and move on. Oh my goodness, look, he's on TV. I love your show. You guys really need to go to Absolute Music's YouTube channel. It's I get the notifications on Sundays, isn't it?
Normally, yeah.
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 Okay, so this is also mahogany.
Yep. Funky gadgets in this one, but typical Les Paul
4.7,
setup.
4.2, 5.4. Now I think the finish is having some.
I guess it would be fair to say that the finish on
1.2.
lower price guitars is going to be thicker and
yeah.
therefore mess with readings potentially a little bit more. Or
I think to a certain extent, you're supposed to be able to do these readings through cling film and stuff like that,
Right.
but we're now talking about a thicker, yeah,
poly, I guess. Some
yeah,
sort of-
probably, yeah.
Another one to compare it to?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I nearly bought one of those on the weekend.
Should we go Les Paul? Should we go SG?
Let's go a Les Paul and then an SG for fun,
Stick with Les Paul.
if we've got the ability.
There we go.
6, 7. So there's 8. Yep, there we go. So Epis, that was 2% higher.
Just between these two
Just
guitars.
between the two and
Which
the
are
same model.
same age.
Same age, sorry.
These are all new.
Similar models. These are all brand new.
There we go.
Okay, this is thinner. 7.7. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. 7-ish. Why don't they put volutes on these things? Really? Just. Okay, that's cool. Onto the Gibsons, yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Too many nice guitars. Far too many nice guitars.
Well, let's go.
That's one of the nicest tops I've ever
You want to
seen.
go for that one, don't you?
It's
Shall we
just
grab it?
these. That burst on this top.
So this is a custom shop,
Yeah.
1960 reissue. But again, this is second hand, so it's a few years old.
For all of Gibson's sins, I still love their guitars. So again, this is old, and it's closer to 10 than 7. So it's taken on about 3% moisture over wear.
Check out that.
Yeah, that's
a
one.
nice
That's
burst.
one to own, isn't it?
Funnily enough, this is actually one that was in the Les Paul video that we shot.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, something like that arrives, and you want to use it as much as you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. Very nice piece of maple there.
Thank you very much for this. This is.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Very welcome.
I'm having fun. The one next to it,
This one?
if that's okay.
Yeah.
What's the age difference between those two?
That's a good question. I would have to check, as the custom shop serial numbers on these are not sequential. But I've got a feeling that that one up there is a good few years older than this one.
And just going by the moisture content, this is 6.5, 7.
Right, okay.
So yeah,
That would seem to make sense.
this seems to be newer. I do love that burst. I know it covers up some of the flaming and that, but the actual colour.
It's lovely, isn't it?
One of the first real guitars I experienced was the Gibson L5 with that thick old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Lovely. What's up for that?
It's striking. So I don't even remember when they made it.
Reverse
Is
Explorer.
it mahogany?
It is, yeah, mahogany build.
7.
Carbon fibre inlay.
6.7. I mean, carbon fiber's cool, but Gibson seemed to have ruined it. No, I don't know.
Do you know what? This is the second one of these we've had in about 6 weeks.
Crikey.
Terry, who does a lot of our guitar buying, always likes to throw in a wild card.
Yes.
And the reaction from the staff is often, "What have you done? How are we going to sell that?" But every time he always gets us. He always gets us. And this is, like I say, the first one we had flew out the door, and we had a queue of people who missed out on it. So when another one came up, we had to take the chance, and this is the second one we've had in now. So it's amazing, the diversity in what you can sell, and that there's someone for everyone, regardless of what the guitar is. Someone's going to like it, and I'm yet to find a guitar that there's not someone who doesn't like it.
Well, I hope that our guitars.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a carved copper top with engraving and patina or patina that's earmarked for you.
Yeah.
That.
You can look at that guitar and you just know people are going to love it.
Hopefully. Yeah, fingers crossed. Come down to Absolute Music and buy Crimson guitars in the next soon. There'll be another video announcing the launch and release and all that.
Yes.
Do you have any brand new Les Pauls?
I have a feeling this is probably the newest one here. Yeah, this is newer than everything you've looked at.
My battery is dying on the Wagner. Come on. Yep. Yep. That's it. I mean, 7.
Yep.
Now there is variation. That's a finish and a half, isn't it?
A 56 reissue in green metallic burst. It's one of those Marmite guitars. We've had people through the door that, what is that? But then so many people have just been like, wow.
Green guitar, cream P90s.
Yeah,
it's
fetching.
We made a few of the 1 Series in that, and it really,
it's a cool guitar.
Sold well.
It's a cool guitar.
I think. Let's have a look at a couple of basses if there are.
How about a Rickenbacker? We have a solid Rickenbacker bass.
I hate Rickies. They've got the sound. The sound is phenomenal. There's a vast difference between big leaf maple and hard maple. I'm going to go for 58. We good? Okay, so this is a solid Ricky.
It is indeed.
Solid maple. I'm splitting the difference between 2 different species of maple. With the.
This is a very recent model.
Okay. 8. 7. 6.5. 6.8. Yeah. 6.3, you got the cavity right there. So yeah, the moisture is higher where there's a cavity because it's reading the moisture in the air. Yeah, it's about what I expected. Again, about the 7% or so. I was so hoping for a company that had a guitar with a moisture content of 20 or something. But they're all...
So have you been pleasantly surprised then? Is that
well,
what you're saying?
well,
You have faith in
yeah, everybody seems to be
mass
doing...
production
They seem to be doing...
or mainstream guitar production? should we
Yeah,
say.
they're doing it well and properly. That's Ash,
Well, that's
isn't it?
reassuring.
So Ash is 60. Let's have a look at Ash. We're not far from 60. Yeah, 5, 4.7. I think that, yeah, Fenders. So that was a Fender bass, precision fretless, which is sexy as hell. Fender Jazz. This must be Ash, isn't it?
Older.
It's older. Oh, well, in that case.
Yes.
Is that older or Ash?
Actually, I believe that is older.
Well, I'm just screwed then. Let us not pull out the phone. I've got far too many things in my pocket.
There's Ash.
There we go.
Brand new.
5,
Been in the shop
5.
about a week, if that.
5. I'm surprised it's lasted a week. I hate maple fretboards generally, but if they've got the
Wow,
black block inlays, they're
new
good.
deluxe series from Fender, and that's well, if you buy the maple one, the natural one, you get the block inlays because they know that 70s look is so. This is the same guitar in a different finish, and normally if you order this in maple, it's just dots, but on that one, comes with the blocks. Classic look.
It is, and it's never going to not be fashionable.
No.
Hopefully Crimson is at that point at some point. 41 for older.
Right.
So I have to cycle through most of the... yeah, well. So how are you finding it now that you've got a college here?
No, it's great. Great. Diverse, shall we say. Big change for us.
Yeah.
To go from, well, not just your average shop, but to go from just purely a retail premises. Actually, I'm talking nonsense because we've never really been just purely retail.
Yeah, you've got the
We've
cafe,
got
you've always
the
had the
cafe, the
studios.
studios, rehearsals, recording. So there's lots of different aspects to what we do here. My life is pretty much just in the retail side of it and guitars. So I'm aware of all these things happening around me and around us in the store. But the college is the first thing that's really very, very visible because you can't miss 30 or 40 students who now live in the same building as you. And but it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just, I guess what we try and do is we're trying to create a real one-stop community destination with as many strings to our bow, so there's as many reasons as we can for customers to come here. And having a tuition centre is just the next part of that now. And it's great for the kids because they come here. They come here to college. They come in and they've got, if they need to use something for a lecture or they need to look at a particular piece of gear this week or use one of the live rooms, then it's kind of yeah.
That's awesome. This isn't supposed to be a tour of Absolute. Let me look at some older guitars. We're going to do a full tour sort of thing when our guitars are delivered.
Cool.
But some older. That's
well,
all of
that
them.
would be that would be
So 8.8, yeah, 11, 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8. This is what I was expecting. 8. I've said this is what I was expecting many times.
It seems to be that figure of about 7 or 8. Seems to be
Yeah.
very consistent.
Absolutely. That's 9. 8. Just quickly, let's go over, have a look at the Fender. There's a bunch of older guitars up there because we only looked at Ash, and I think, I'm interested. Maybe they just got a particularly good light, very dry supply of Ash. But there was a difference. So you've got the Ash Ibanez over there. That is 8 or so.
Oh, okay.
And the Ash Fenders are 4 or so.
Right, okay. So what, older, anything really, most of it.
Most of it.
These are going to be older underneath.
So let's see if we can get through the finish. 8. 8. 11. 7. Oh, of course, that's the... Got a cutaway there. So yeah, that's too thin. 7. That's Ash.
These are older.
9. 9. 7.5. Oh, and some strats.
Older.
8. 8.5. 10.
These are that's older.
9. 7.5. So this is, I'm going to go back to Ash, which is 60. For me, this is the biggest surprise, to be honest. Well, 6.5.
Wow.
So, I mean, is that just standard Ash, or do you think it could be Swamp Ash?
They haven't disclosed, I don't think. Unless...
If it was Swamp Ash, I'd expect it to be it's a different relative specific gravity.
Now, me being a layman, I would suspect Swamp Ash to have more moisture content just because of the life that it has lived.
No, it's actually not even in a swamp. That's the annoying thing.
Oh, okay.
It's literally just apparently Swamp Ash is from specific areas in the States.
Right, okay.
Not necessarily in water, but it is because of that area lighter in weight.
Right, okay.
So it's exactly the same species of tree,
Yeah.
but it's much lighter.
Right,
So
okay.
it's more porous, etc.
Because we don't have a guitar here because there is, I mean, all the spalted woods and things like that, which are sort of like water-soaked woods and things, aren't they?
Yeah. But once
I guess
they dry, they
used
dry
for-
very light.
Yeah, and I guess they're just used for the tops, really, aren't
Yeah.
they? No, I don't believe Fender are labelling this as Swamp Ash. It's simply just
Ash.
ash. So
Now I think I messed up. Did you say this one was Ash?
that's ash. Yeah,
That is Ash.
that's ash. Yeah.
So we're off again. Okay, well we're going to end basically where we started. Yeah, 4.2. Strange, isn't
There
it?
you go.
So the Ash Fenders are abnormally dry, which actually goes in their favour and makes them sound better, I think. Across the board, pretty much everything else
Seems to be
is about 7 or 8.
good news all round.
Good news all right. Although, what we noticed about the older Gibsons
Yes.
is 10%, 11%.
Yep.
For a 10-year-old guitar, it does take on moisture,
Yep.
unless they were drying their guitars differently back then, which I
Coming
don't
back to the
think.
finish thing, would one be right to assume that with nitro finishes, it's going to be
suspect so.
more susceptible to that over time?
He calls himself a layman, but to be honest, no, I think
just-
yeah, really.
over a poly, which is going to be far more
Exactly.
hard wearing. And,
Yeah, and with the poly, you've got a much thicker undercoat as well,
Yeah.
primers and things like that.
Yeah.
So, quite frankly, I think that is it.
yeah.
Uh,
But that's good. Am I right? That's good.
It
Yeah.
is very good. I think it's a problem for me because I really do like air dried wood.
Right, okay.
There's a lot of evidence that says air dried instruments are. It's easier to make. It's lighter and all that jazz.
Right, okay.
But the moisture content is a huge part of it.
And you'll never get down to a kiln dried moisture content. There's no way to do that.
The only way to do that is a kiln.
Right. Okay.
And basically, you create a box,
Yep.
put a dehumidifier and a fan and a heater, and pull the moisture out.
Right.
And I mean, there's this whole movement with Martin now, with everybody, torrified wood.
Right. Yeah.
They scare the moisture out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
James's joke, not mine, but it's stuck in my head and I can't not say it. Torrefied wood, Martin are using it on their tops, and they're trying to approximate a certain age.
Yes, yeah.
And that's basically kiln drying, but under a vacuum.
Right, okay.
And at a higher temperature as well.
Right, yeah.
So, a lot of things in guitars are total bullshit. And there are companies that will say this particular technology or process makes it sound like this, where there are other companies that say the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But in this case, basically, if you hit 7 or 8% as your target
Well, I think that's been
EMC,
fairly conclusive, hasn't it? It's shown a very, very strong generalised figure that most of these brands are working to, with a little bit of a shift here and there, but generally,
it's awesome.
all
Well,
good.
thank you very much, Lee.
No worries, thanks, Ben.
We're going to go and try not to buy a guitar. I'm hankering after a telly today.
See what I can do.
If you ever get a 72 reissue flame maple telly with the tobacco burst thing,
okay.
call me. I build guitars. And
It's fine, you can still
look at the competitions that you know how to build yours. We'll know what they're doing.
market research.
Yeah, there we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
cool. Tax redemptions. Anyway, we're out of here. Thank you very much. Click like, subscribe, check out the Guild, check out Absolute Music. Come down. Just focus on the buttons of the buttonness. That is, what's that thing in the middle there on the Yamaha podium?
That is a rack of analog synthesizers.
It's
A lot of
just-
stuff that I don't know anything about, in other words, but the techie guys get very excited about it.
I'm trying to build my son a bedroom of, just awesomeness.
Yeah.
Like a jet.
And that's what you need.
That's exactly.
Doesn't matter what it does, just
strip all the crap out the inside.
it's
I
a
don't.
piece of TARDIS, that's all you need to know. It's
Absolutely.
a piece of TARDIS.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
see you soon. I hope this has been as illuminating for you as it has for us.
Certainly has.
Cool beans. See you soon. Goodbye. Oh my God.